What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Climb Together podcast. I'm your host, Tonagescorp, here with my co-host, Deception. Deception, say hi.
What up?
We are back again for a lovely, lovely episode um of the podcast. This is episode number 68. Uh, we have officially we're officially caught up too. I know you guys have been well, you kind of say that all the time, but we're actually last week's episode went live on YouTube the day that it was recorded, and the same thing is going to happen today. So I just want to say I am very proud of myself for that one.
Yep.
Also, if you guys did not know, the latest episode of The Ladder came out, and let's just say some things were announced. The thing being the what the team is for for Scorpion Syndicate, which is we have the
Yep.
XDefiant team consisting of Deception, Wyatt, and Cash. I'm very excited to see what they can do once the game comes out. I mean, obviously we're still kind of waiting, but as the days go, the more information we gain increases. It's kind of like one of the first things I want to talk about today is XDefiant, and then we'll kind of go into some other things. So we've been kind of getting some updates and stuff like that on the store for Ubisoft for the game. We're seeing some different packs. There's going to be a battle pass. It's from what it seems. Leveling up weapons. There's weapon XP tokens and stuff.
Yeah, they actually just took those down yesterday, but they were available for a lot longer than the X coins were. So
yeah,
I'm sure people got a couple redeems in on those rewards.
Yep. I'm gonna let Deception take the lead on this one because this is his ball game. So I know there's a few things that have come out. There's some pricings, potential price points coming out from XDI as a source. A lot of people have been saying Ubi soon. So hopefully soon Ubisoft will give us the game we've all been waiting for.
Well, they've said that it's going to happen in Q1, and we're about a month away from the end of Q1, so it's got to happen soon if it's happening in Q1.
Yeah, so there was I think we talked about this in one of the episodes, but there was an investment meeting with the investors of Ubisoft, and one of the topics of conversation was XDefiant, and it says it's going to be launched in Q1. So that ends March 31st. So it'll be sometime between now and March 31st. We're just kind of waiting.
The wild thing to me is that we haven't really, I guess they've done a good job of keeping it under wraps because we haven't really heard possible dates.
Yeah.
At all. We've only heard one date, but it wasn't confirmed, and I don't think that it was actually an actual date. It was just somebody spitballing. But we haven't heard any leakers or anybody be like, "Oh, XDefiant's coming out this day. You just wait." Yeah. It's crazy.
It's they've been doing a really good job because most of the time when it comes to games and stuff like that, usually a date gets leaked or something gets leaked. Even with GTA 6, people were able to hack into the system and leak the entire release trailer before Rockstar posted it themselves. So the fact that nothing has come out about XDefiant yet as far as dates are concerned other than the March 31st window is kind of crazy to me.
Yeah, and I mean with COD, at least the last few years, we've known the release date and the reveal date of the next COD sometimes before the COD we're waiting on releases.
Yeah.
So it's really easy for leakers to get that stuff, and I guess it just shows that it just comes down to how well the developers can hide it. And seems like Mark and his team have done a really good job of making sure that we stay hidden from
Mm-hmm.
all the leaks and all the release dates and everything. But I mean, there's some stuff falling through the cracks with the whole X coins thing,
Mm-hmm.
because like late last week, in the Xbox store and on the Ubisoft store on PC, there was a listing for 500 X coins, which is, if people don't know, it's like that's the currency that people are going to be able to use to buy skins in the battle pass and all that.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
We
sir.
found out that they're called X coins, and there was a listing for 500 of them, which is $5. You know, that's typical pricing. That's not anything that's too low or too high. Um, that's exact typical pricing for an in-game currency. But they show that in the store, then that went away. Um, and we got some people saying, like, I saw somebody who, I don't know if they actually know anything, but I guess they've heard some stuff. Like this one person said that skins are probably going to cost around $10 to $15, and that the battle pass should be like $10, and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then earlier this week, well, over the weekend, and it bled into earlier this week, because they just got taken down yesterday. There were rewards that got posted on Ubisoft Connect and the console Ubisoft apps for rewards. Um, Ubisoft has done this with a lot of games, where if you play the game, complete challenges through Ubisoft Connect, you get, they're called units, um, in the Ubisoft system. They're called units, but every time you level up your account by doing challenges, you get units, and you can spend those on in-game rewards, that are essentially, you're doing it for free because you're just doing challenges and getting units to get free rewards. And there was a bunch of them that got posted. Um, there's a really cool skin. It showed the skin on the Vector. I don't know if that's just for the Vector or for every gun. Um, it was a really cool, like, blue, black, white skin. It looked really nice. I thought it was a pretty sick skin, compared to what COD usually puts out in the beginning of their games. And if when you looked at it, um, it showed at the bottom that there was a attachment that was separated from the gun, and it also had the skin on it. So it also makes me think that any attachment you put on will keep the skin, instead of it being like COD blueprints, where if you don't put these attachments on it, it just makes the gun look ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Which is really good. That'll make them a lot of money. I can assure them of that. If every gun if every attachment on the gun keeps the skin, they will make a lot of money off skins. Everybody will love that. Um, and there were also rewards for battle pass XP boosts, weapon XP boosts. There was a battle pass tier skip, and something that released for within the last like 36 hours or so of the rewards being up before they got taken down was a free reward. It didn't cost any units, and it was a skin. And I assume all of these rewards will go back up when the game releases, and they didn't mean to put them out at this time. So don't worry about if it was like a limited time or whatever. I'm sure all these same rewards will go back up. But
Yeah.
there was a free skin reward, and I redeemed that one.
You did?
So I will it come up in my game? I have no idea, but I redeemed it. So we'll see.
I wasn't as fast as you.
I redeemed it. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't know if they're just gonna, if people redeem this stuff, they'll refund them and let them re-redeem them, or if they'll be like, screw it, y'all can just keep it and we'll give it to you when the game comes out. But yeah, I saw some people talking about redeeming the rewards, and I redeemed the free skin. So we'll see.
We will definitely see. Dude, I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. I'm waiting. Like,
At
when's it
this
come out?
point, I feel like Mark has to say something. Like I feel like after, I mean, the X coins, he probably could have gotten away with not saying anything,
Yeah.
but the Ubisoft rewards showing that stuff, and people knowing that Ubisoft rewards directly comes from a game being out,
Mm-hmm.
means that they have probably put the full version of the game into Ubisoft Connect. They just haven't dropped it yet. So I feel like he's got to say something or at least vaguely acknowledge what happened and be like, yeah, the game's coming soon. Don't worry or something. Like, I don't know if he can stay silent this week.
He needs to give us something, just something that we can like work off of, you know? Uh like you said, like us coming soon, or like even a relative date, like a confirmed by him, like, yo, this is coming like Q1 for sure. But they did that before,
I
and
mean, he did say before in the reply to somebody who replied to his last tweet, he did say as far as like when I can say something, he said soon, and I will say as soon as I can say it. So, and he hasn't said that before. He has
true.
said that he would say stuff like he would give updates, but he hasn't been like, oh, as soon as I know a date, I'll tell you. So
Yeah,
it's got to be soon if he's starting to talk about, oh, as soon as I know a date, like you guys will know.
I'm hoping.
And I
I'm
have a
hoping and
feeling he'll
praying.
be the first one to announce it. I have a feeling like when he announces it
Mm-hmm.
in whatever little article he puts up on Twitter, like that's when
Yeah.
all the announcements start coming out.
I mean, for sure. Like, I think it's gonna be one of those things where it's like we're just gonna sit here, and then he's gonna like just some random day. It's just gonna be some random day that none of us expect. He's just gonna post it, and it's gonna blow up. Like it's gonna prove that the hype that around XDefiant is still there, you know, because everyone's just like, oh, the hype around XDefiant's gone, the hype's around, you know, the hype's gone, whatever. But it's not, because as soon
Yeah.
as Mark posts.
Anytime Mark tweets, everybody's in there.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's looking at it.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if he just like does it without any context or anything. Like just like out of the blue, just
It wouldn't
tweets.
surprise me if he just randomly tweets it one day because he's been very sporadic with what days he gives updates.
Oh
Like
yeah, he's just
there
like,
was a pattern like at first where it was I think like usually every Tuesday he would do it, but then like there was a couple times where he did it on Thursday, one time he did it on a Monday, one time he did it on a Wednesday, and I'm like I don't know when we're gonna get a Mark update.
yeah. So I mean, it's one of those things. You're just gonna have to sit here and twiddle our thumbs and you know hold ourselves over until he gives us something. I mean, because like personally, I was hoping the game would be out by now. Um, I was kind of planning on it, but like with the announcement of like the XDefiant team and everything, like that's why we announced Scorpion Syndicate as early as we did, is because we thought that the game was gonna be out this month. So we're like, well, we want to get everything announced before the game comes out, and now everything's announced, and we're still again waiting. And it's kind of frustrating in a way. As someone who has like two different businesses around XDefiant already, like I need someone to like hit me up, get me in a meeting, give me some sort of like, I won't say like, if you just want to like give me some sort of timeline, like I don't say anything publicly if you don't want, like I'll sign an NDA. Just you gotta give me something, man. Gotta give me something.
Yeah,
I
definitely. If that ever happened, and anybody that works on X Defiant is listening, like literally just like please make her sign an NDA. She will say something if you
I
don't.
I I won't say anything. I promise. Like I'll give you a pinky promise. If I pinky promise something, I hold that pinky promise, okay? It's like sacred. That's more important. That's more sacred to me than an NDA, all right? A pinky promise. So, anyone that's on X Defiant team, anyone that knows anything, my DMs are open on Twitter, on everything. So just hit me up, be like, yo, Tonage, let's chat. I've got some info for you. You can shoot me an NDA, I'll sign it. I don't care. You know what I mean? I'm 20 years old, so legally I can sign an NDA. I've like learned contracts and stuff like that, so I won't come after you and be like, yo, I didn't know what I was signing. I know what I'm signing. I will sign an NDA, a non-disclosure agreement, so you guys can tell me what's going on, okay? Because like now I'm just kind of sitting here. I'm like, okay, cool. Now I got a women's league that I'm working on, and then a team that I have that I'm building an entire org around, waiting for this freaking game. I just need to know something, guys. I just need to know something. Please, I'm begging. I'm begging. I'm pleading. I'm pleading to the XDefiant gods. Okay? Which happen to be Mark Rubin. And Ace.
Mark Rubin's the man.
Mm-hmm.
And Ace is the man for competitive.
Oh, yeah. So, that's my end of that. I'm just, I'm not going to repeat myself again, but you guys heard what I said, so twice. But, yeah. God, I want this game to go out so bad. We talk about it every week. Every week we get closer to the release date, but we don't know what that release date is. We've been talking about this game for so long. For
I feel like if they end up not releasing it within Q1, they'll have to say something within the next couple of weeks. Like
they have to.
I honestly feel like if they weren't releasing it in Q1, they would have already said something. Mm-hmm. It's like we're like a month away from Q1. Like if they want to get the hype going, they better say something soon.
Yeah. Because, I mean, as much as I say the hype's still around the game, there's a hype train that follows the game consistently, like that follows all these, different XDefiant Twitter accounts and all that stuff. And
yeah, there's like a little cult following that's been built.
Yeah, but then you got to reach the masses, and the masses are, the other millions of people that follow the Twitter, you know what I mean? That are like, hey, new game, cool. This is, something better than COD. And in my opinion. And and like they're like, okay, like let's get on this, you know what I mean? Like, but they're not following all these other channels, and all these other platforms that people have where they, are in this like little like cult that we got going on here around XDefiant, where we get these constant updates on like the little things that are happening.
Yeah, the only thing I will say, because I just noticed this because you were talking about how it's like so many people follow the XDefiant account. The only thing I'll say that I think is a little bit of like a fault of theirs is the actual XDefiant account has not tweeted since like I think sometime in October, I think was the last time. I don't remember.
I think it's but like
the only thing is like they haven't been retweeting Mark's updates. So I feel like a lot of people are not even seeing what Mark is saying.
Probably not.
If they retweeted Mark's updates, I feel like there would be a little bit more hype around it and people would understand that the hype is still there. Because I feel like a lot of people are not seeing Mark's tweets and they're just thinking that XDefiant just died.
Yeah. So there's not even 1 million followers. I was wrong. There's 205.1 thousand followers.
Still way more than how many Mark has, though.
Yeah. So I thought there was more for some reason. I think I'm just like tripping.
Well, there was millions of people that played it.
Oh, okay. That's what it was. Anyway.
Because when they did that open beta for like 3 days, and like they were expecting about 600,000 people to play, and over 2.5 million people played it.
Yeah. So they have 205.1 thousand followers, right? The last time that they tweeted was December 31st. And that was to say Happy New Year from the XDefiant team. And the last update they gave on the main XDefiant Twitter account was October 9th, 2023. Because before that, it was all the stuff about the playtest.
Oh, yeah, because the idea, and even Mark said, I know we talked about it before, but even Mark said that the goal was for them to do that playtest and then release a couple weeks later. That was the plan. So when they discovered all the problems and they didn't release, they had to update, because I feel like 90% of the fan base that follows it closely just knew that if that playtest went well, the game was dropping.
Yeah. But there was a lot of bugs and stuff like that they've been working on. They've been hopefully fixed. I know they kind of like overhauled like their entire like party system, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and the netcode. I mean, they overhauled the netcode for like the beta, but they've been like fine tuning it. They did even more changes after that play test, and they've done a lot to the netcode.
Yeah. So, the last update that we got from Mark was January 26th, from his channel, well, from his
It's
account.
been almost a month.
Yeah. In like 5 days, it'll be a month. Hello, all. Quick
Three
update.
weeks.
We're doing some private tests to verify the work that we did in the last few months. So far, things are going well, and we are all as eager to go live as you. As the team is hard at work to get us to go live. We want to thank everyone who has supported us through this development. Um,
And the way he talks in that too, like talking about like, well, not only them talking about being eager to go live, but him saying like thank you to everybody who's supporting us through the development. That makes me think the next update he's going to post is the release date.
mm-hmm.
Because just the way he talked, and it also lines up with what people said where
Mm-hmm.
they were initially planning to do play tests again, and then they scrapped them for private testing because they're getting ready for launch. So like there's a lot of stuff that lines up with the fact that it's probably finally releasing. So
Yeah, I mean, oh, I don't even follow the man. Sorry, bro. Um, he's been like replying to people and stuff like that, but he really has not been saying a lot because he can't really say a lot. I mean, he's been liking stuff from
he just
people.
doesn't know how much he can say.
Yeah. It,
Like, I mean, yeah, he's the executive producer, but I think he's like trying to walk a thin line. Like he's trying to say as much as he can say, but he's trying to not like overhype the game and bring
mhm.
people's expectations too high. Because like if he said like, oh, all this stuff's coming post launch, you just wait, and then it gets delayed, then people would be mad.
Yeah. I think they're trying to prevent what happened in the fall. Because everyone was like, "Oh, the game's gonna come out in October," but it never did. So.
Yeah, he like last time he targeted a late summer release, which was supposed to be late September, and we had that playtest September 28th, which was technically early fall. But he already had talked about how the submission process took a little bit longer. So I think in a lot of our minds, the playtest was just a precursor to the launch. Like, oh, playtest and then launch in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Um, and then that didn't end up happening. So like I think he still wants to be like super communicative. It's just he's walked it back a little bit because like he realized that like not that what he said was wrong. It's more just like he needs to kind of be a little bit more careful because he's kind of seen like how social media is about it.
Yeah. So I don't know. I'm hoping. I'm hoping for something. I really.
It's just one of those weird things
Yeah.
because it's like if he hasn't updated in almost a month, which I'm sure he wants to, but also like the last like 3 updates he's done, while if you read between the lines, he's giving us new information. He's doing a good job by updating us. Some people in his replies have complained that he's basically just saying the same thing every update,
Yeah, he's being very
and they're not happy
vague.
with it.
He's being pretty
Um,
vague, I think, in my opinion. But he's being vague, so he's hoping being vague allows him to give a little bit more information because then he can
yeah,
like imply things but not actually say them. Because I mean
yeah.
that's
It's just one of those things that it's like if he updates us like that, but he does that, people are going to get mad because he's not
mm-hmm.
telling us things
Yep.
and he's not giving us specific information. But if he doesn't update people are going to be like, where did Mark go? He's not
Yeah.
communicating anymore. XDefiant's dead. So it's like he's kind of like stuck between a rock and a hard place on that one. And I think that's probably why he hasn't updated us in almost a month.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying to, maybe he does have information for us, but he's either trying to make it like a big long post when he announced the release date, or he's straight up just waiting to get a release date and then be like, okay, time for an update. Here's the release date.
Yeah, so I mean, I don't know. I think we should move on from this because I feel like there's really nothing more we can talk about because now we're like we're just waiting, like it's all we can do now is just wait for what's next. But speaking of XDefiant, it's been kind of gonna try to like segue this into our next topic, but it's been kind of like called as like the COD killer, especially over the summer with like the beta being out, like being playable and stuff like that. Everyone's like, "Oh, it's a COD killer, it's a COD killer, it's a COD killer." Well, looks like COD is going to unalive itself. Um, so I'm just gonna pull this up. As you guys probably some of you know, there is a lawsuit that Scump and Hex filed against Activision for $680 million over the
Yeah.
Call of Duty League's monopoly on COD esports. So luckily this came out literally this semester after I took business law. So I actually like understand a lot of this, cuz that's what we learned is like lawsuits and like business contracts and monopolies and like how like, you know, you have to do some stuff. So yeah, so pretty much you guys don't know like Call of Duty League is like the only like big like place for people to compete in the Call of Duty scene. I mean, there's some amateur leagues and stuff like that, but like nothing really compares. Um, you know, like um and it's only limited to like the 12 teams that are in the league and then the teams that play in challengers. Um so the lawsuit was filed February 15th, literally the day after the last podcast, cuz why wouldn't it be? So I'm just gonna kind of read this verbatim. This suit alleges Activision holds an unlawful monopoly over the COD esports scene and has wielded its powers to prohibit growth in an anti-competitive nature. Namely, those involved have taken a legal stance against the Call of Duty League's initial entry fee, alleging Activision coerced 12 teams to pay an extortionate $27.5 million of the privilege of being able to compete.
Dude, that's higher than we thought. We thought it was 25 million.
Yeah, Lynn.
So it goes from a $300 million league to a $330 million league.
Yeah. So, I mean, and then, you know, with everything going on with the esports economy right now, like we've talked about this, like that's a lot of money for someone to spend on esports. And esports is kind of like a just across the board, like not a very profitable like venture for these esports teams to take. You know, most of them lose money consistently on these like esports. Like yesterday I was watching an interview with the Counter-Strike player Rush. He used to play for Optic back in the day. He was getting interviewed by Jake Lucky on the Gamer
I love
Update
Jake.
like Kick channel. And he was saying like CS has never been like profitable esports. Even like the teams that win, like they still operate on a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm sure that's why Optic probably got rid of their CS team,
Yeah.
along with them being sold to Infinite. I mean, Infinite probably saw the CS team and was probably like, "Nah, we don't need that."
They probably could have gotten it back too though. They probably could have been like when they got Optic back, they could have picked up a CS team. But instead they got Halo and then Apex. And they did like Valorant for a minute too. But that's also
Yeah,
pretty.
the only reason why they didn't do Valorant is because they didn't want to pay to be in that franchise type of league they were doing.
Yeah, because it's
So
also
it was
very
the same
expensive.
thing as CDL.
Yeah. So it was the Overwatch League, like which was another exclusive esports system under Activision Blizzard King umbrella, crumbled with the teams being owed up to $7.5 million at the time of its shuttering. So I don't know what the entry fee for Overwatch League was for those teams, but it was also like probably pretty high.
Pretty sure the Overwatch League was around the same price. It
Yeah.
might have been a little bit lower, but I do know they all got paid like between $6 and $8 million
Yeah.
for getting out of the league.
So, I mean, that was, you know, the fact that they're still owed that much money, like with teams being owed up to 7.5 million. So that means like individual teams. Well, that's how I interpret those words is like these individual teams, like each, like 7.5 up to 7.5 each.
Yeah,
Uh,
I just looked it up, and the Overwatch League buy-in was 20 mil, so a little bit lower, but still quite a hefty
Still quite a
buy-in.
bit. So if you just add the 20 mil plus the 7.5, you get what it was to enter the Call of Duty League.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure like all the Overwatch teams got like 6 or 8 million for
Yeah.
buying themselves out of the league.
Yeah. So,
Because there was the reason why a lot of people think that this might succeed and it also might kill the CDL is because it wasn't to this extent and it wasn't just one team, but like a lot of Overwatch teams basically sued the Overwatch League, and the Overwatch League basically just gave in and was like, okay, we'll give you money, and the league goes away. That's why it came out of that lawsuit, and that was last year. So a lot of people are thinking it might go the same way with this.
and you know, it's keep going on, like keeping on, like with this, um, like they kind of like forced to sign these like contracts, and I'm assuming there was an anti-compete um clause in these contracts, which is probably what like they're kind of talking about, where like if you play for the studio, you can't play in these other leagues for Call of Duty. And they also bought like MLG out, which was like which is a like which
Yeah,
was
and
a
Hexa and Scump are
huge.
claiming that they bought MLG so they could have the monopoly, and they're
Yeah.
not doing anything with MLG. When I don't know if this is true, but I heard that they agree that they would do something with MLG and keep it going, and now it's basically dead.
Yeah. So pretty much like when you're a like in the business world, when you're a big company like Activision, right? And you set out to acquire or buy another company in the same like realm as you, either two things need to happen. Well, one thing needs to happen. You need to get approval from the government, right? Because in the United States, we have like an anti monopoly system, even though there are monopolies that do exist still, because there's like loopholes and stuff like that to the system. But what they're claiming is that they didn't even try to go through the system. I think is like what I've kind of like one of the things is
Yeah,
like they definitely like they have to get like approval from I think like the SEC is what it's called. Um,
yeah.
so
There's a lot of legal stuff that I don't fully understand, but
that's why I'm here.
um a lot of the Twitter stuff that was being said, a lot of people that were like simplifying it, I was like, okay, I get it now.
Yeah,
Like I was like, I ain't about to sit here and read the whole lawsuit, but I kind of
I
understand what people are
kind of
saying.
want to, but I haven't been able to find it.
I've seen a couple of people who are experienced in law look at the lawsuit. Like, I don't know if somebody that's on Breaking Point is experienced or if they brought somebody in, but I know Breaking Point did like a in-depth look at the whole lawsuit, and like they were talking about it.
Yeah. Um. So pretty much like they have to get approval from the SEC, the SEC. I think that's what it's called. Don't quote me on that though. They have to get approval to like have the deal go through, and if they don't get approval, then the deal doesn't go through, or they can get approved and the deal goes through. Or a third option is that like there's like some sort of like trade, I guess. Like you have to trade like something that you already have underneath your organization for what you're purchasing. Like you have to get
Yeah.
rid of something to get that other something, and that didn't happen. Like the whole process, none of those three options were even, you know, pursued at all because they didn't go through the government. And so, pretty much what they're claiming is they did this, and now MLG was a really big like gaming like for LANs and stuff like that. They put on a lot of different events for different games and stuff like that. So they kind of
MLG recently brought esports into the mainstream. Like,
yeah.
if it wasn't for them, I feel like most of the general public wouldn't even know what esports is.
Yep.
I mean, even through the like memes, like everybody knows what MLG is because of memes. Like, so it's
So
kind of crazy.
yeah, and it's one of those things. Just like they said that they were gonna do stuff with it, and then they never did. So they pretty much just bought out like the real only competition, just to like make like the Call of Duty League. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
the MLG was really their only competition. And I'm not saying like any other like small like leagues or whatever that did stuff weren't like aren't competitive and don't put on good like events and stuff. But the MLG was like the biggest of all those, and so
MLG was the biggest. They were bringing in the money and they
yeah,
were supporting the best out of anybody because they could.
yeah,
They had a lot of staff and they had a lot of people helping and everybody trusted MLG. So
yeah. They had the
um,
resources, you know, they had experience and all this other stuff. So as Activision, like if say I'm like from Activision's point of view, I can see why they'd want to buy out MLGs because like hey, like we want to do the Call of Duty League and the Overwatch League, so let's try to like get rid of our only competition. But that's why that's why the government has this anti-monopoly system in place to try to prevent monopolies. Obviously, they still happen. Like Amazon's a monopoly, Microsoft is a monopoly. Like there's these different things um, that are coming to play with it. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky
I don't know
situation,
that.
and I'm ready to see what unfolds from it because they tried to settle it in a like a litigation, so not taking it to trial, but Activision did not want to settle, so now it's going to be like taken to court.
I don't know that whole like them coercing the teams wouldn't surprise me because I don't know if you remember, but there were multiple players at the beginning of Cold War that talked about how before Cold War, like Activision basically just forced them to sign contracts or they weren't going to play.
Yeah.
Like they wouldn't even like apparently like they didn't even the players didn't even let their agents or their lawyers like look at the contract. Activision was like sign it right now or you're not playing.
Mhm. Because they waited till like last minute to have them do it, so they're like, okay, well you can either sign this contract and play this weekend, or
I
um
heard that they literally brought them to like an event, like all the players, and they were just like, sign the contract or you're not competing. That's
yeah.
it. Like,
So they all signed because they all want to play God. That's what they want to do. That's what they do for a living. Like, like this is something a lot of these people have been doing for a decade. They wanted to keep doing it. So, and most of these people are young. Like at this time, like even now, like most of the Call of Duty scene is like people my age, like in their young, they're either like 18, 19, 20, young 20s. There's not a lot of people that are over the age of 25 in the league.
yeah, unless you're like Clay, freaking, he's gonna be 31 this year.
Yeah. Damn. And
And
he's
who?
still
Somebody else is gonna be 30. I don't remember.
probably
I think
Slasher.
Slasher is gonna be
Yeah.
30. That's
Probably.
crazy.
So, but we'll see.
I
I
wonder how old
mean,
Attach is.
he's got to be getting up there.
He's 27.
Yeah, he's getting up there.
So he was young when he was playing COD. Like
Mm-hmm.
when he became a pro in like Ghosts. So
Mm-hmm.
that's
That makes
crazy.
sense that he's 27. But anyway, that's that on that. It's one of those things. We'll cover it as it keeps going. Um, and we'll keep you guys posted. If there's like a live stream of like the trial or whatever, or the like the court proceedings, like I'll be watching for sure, and I'll break it down for you guys as best as I can. Because this is kind of like this is my like realm. Caleb has his realm on the podcast, but this side of it is my go to. This is my
Dude, that'll be the weird thing. It's like you're gonna watch it and you're gonna be gathering all this information, and I'm just gonna be sitting here listening to gibberish until somebody says guilty or not guilty. I'll be like, okay.
be like, all right, cool, and then I'll be over here like, oh, okay, oh, I understand that. Deception's like, uh, so what's going on?
Dude, that'd be just like me if I started talking about like the sim racing side of esports.
Oh my
Tony would
god,
just be
yeah,
like,
I'd
I
be
don't know
like,
what you're saying, but
yeah,
I mean, I
mm-hmm,
guess.
yeah, go cars go fast, vroom vroom. That's yeah. Like Deception and I, we have our strengths on this podcast, and that's why we work so well together. I am more of the like business side of esports, and Deception's more of like I know what's going on in the public eye type thing, and I know what's going on behind the scenes a little bit better. And he's a little bit more in tune with like the esports side of things. That's why I picked him for the director of esports of the Scorpion Syndicate because, well, he knows better than I do. Um, so
Oh man.
yo, Doc, you're
I
cracking me up in chat, dude.
I
I
don't know. I personally like I have started to watch a lot more like sim racing stuff.
mm-hmm.
So I could probably give insight on the sim racing side of esports. Once I start looking at it more. I haven't really watched much of it yet, but oh
uh, but
dude, Tony, you
as an
should send me
example,
that picture so I can just have it as like a
dude,
PNG in one
I
of the corners
know.
of my stream.
So for those of you guys that didn't watch, the latest episode of The Ladder, I decided to give Deception uh a uh a face cam of my own creation. I sent it to you in DMs, so you have it, but I'll show it to the screen. I like to show it to the stream. This is the Deception that I created. I literally just typed in
I should put that in my stream. I should do that. I should put that on.
it's
You
just
know,
so good,
well,
dude. It's just so good.
I said this like nobody knows it because like we weren't streaming when I said it.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm not gonna lie. Like if anybody doesn't know what I look like, when I was like 8 or 10 years old, this would have been a pretty good representation, minus the attire. The attire wasn't the same, but the appearance was very similar. I'll tell you that. Like Tone, I'll try to find you a picture of when I was that little. You'll see it. You'll be like, yep, that's you. That's exactly what.
Well, because like I've seen what you look. I've gotten a face reveal, so I know what you look like. So I was like, okay, this is. If I had a picture Deception, this is what I'd want.
After stream when I go eat before we play COD, I will go somewhere like on Facebook or something and find a picture when I was little, and you'll look at it and you'll be like, yep, that picture that I picked was very accurate.
Yeah. Oh my god, it like cracked me up. I literally was just like, hold on 1 second, Deception, and I was just like, let me go find a picture to put in front of his face, and then I did. So hilarious, hilarity. We should turn you into a VTuber, and this should be your like mascot thing.
I just start putting hashtag VTuber in my stream titles.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But it's actually just this picture. Like it doesn't move or anything.
I think I could be wrong, but I think that's a thing too. I think they call them like PNG tubers or something.
What?
Like people that just have a PNG. I don't know why you would do that. I don't know why you wouldn't just go for the full VTuber, but you know. I think that's a thing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I don't know. But alas. Oh man, it cracks me up. But
It's actually a fantastic idea.
Yeah. I do what I do.
Oh man.
So continuing on the Optic thing, this also happened literally like right after the podcast. So for those of you who don't know that like when Optic and Envy merged, Andrea and Alexandra Botez kind of were they already part of Envy, so they kind of like stayed in and joined Optic, but they have recently confirmed that they're no longer in Optic.
It doesn't really surprise me.
No,
I mean they were in a couple Optic content videos, but for the most part, they did their own thing. And
yeah.
honestly, I don't know if anybody even would have known they were in Optic, to be honest. Like at least like people that follow them probably were like, oh, they're in something called Optic. Okay.
What's Optic?
But like People that follow like Optic probably had no idea they were in Optic, to
Yeah,
be
unless
honest.
like they're
So
like they were like mentioned sparingly
they
in like
were, I think they were
videos.
in like one or two content videos that I
Yeah.
remember, and
But they
that's it.
also they also live in like LA, so like it's not they're not in, Texas where everyone else is, and that's kind of like a big thing about being an optic is you have to live in Texas. Like you have to live and able to do like IRL content. That's kind of like they're having a problem with that, like, so I recently have discovered this by watch. If you guys don't know, like I watch a lot of podcasts and I watch a lot of optic gaming podcasts. It's kind of what I do when I do my homework. I just kind of like put on a podcast and do what I need to do. And I end up
Mm-hmm.
listening to the podcast more than actually doing my homework, but that's not the point.
That's what I do half the time. I even play games when I'm
Yeah.
not streaming. I'll just throw a podcast on and just listen to it.
And if you guys don't know, the Flycast is a little bit less professional, like the one with Maniac and Hitch.
Yeah.
So they talk about a lot different things and they go
Dude,
a
the
little bit
last one
more.
was crazy.
Well, which one
They
are you?
had Bose on the last one and they were
Yeah.
talking about like aliens and stuff. And I was like, bruh.
Yeah, so that's actually the one I was watching this morning while I was making
It's
breakfast.
great.
So they were kind of talking about like Pomage. So Pomage hasn't really been in a lot of content lately because like apparently like his sleep schedule is really like screwed. Um
Yeah.
so he hasn't really been participating in a lot of content, like in optic content recently, and like that's the whole reason like, he moved down there was to be able to participate in content. So I don't know what's going on with him. I mean, I think he might
I
be
don't think
like,
he's going to leave.
I don't think he's gonna leave. I think he might be like going into like a depressive episode or something because like,
I don't think he's
like,
gonna leave. It's gonna be like he's gonna be like Bose and Maniac. Like for the longest time, Bose and Maniac didn't really participate in content, and everybody
yeah,
thought that they were like gone. But
yeah.
I mean, Bose was sort of just doing his own thing. It wasn't anything like crazy, and Maniac had his addiction to deal with. But
Hmm. I mean,
um,
like everybody has
they
their
stayed
struggles and
on even
stuff.
though they weren't doing content.
Yeah. And everybody has their struggles and like it, Hex has been one of those guys that like he understands that and he knows that like, some few times people, just have shit going on. And I feel like that's kind of what's
Yeah, he
happening
went
with
with it for
Pomage.
years with Maniac, so it's like I
Yeah.
mean I'm sure he will let anybody off the hook as long as they're
Yeah.
not as bad as Maniac.
Yeah. Even if they are, like they, he'll still be there. Like he's like a father to all of them. Like he really like takes care of them.
Mm-hmm.
All of them. And so I think he's just like, doing with his own like mental health stuff. I mean, he did move like literally across an entire country from his family, and that can be very difficult. Because like from what I know, like from what I've seen, like Pomage seems pretty close with his family. Like he said, like they all cried when he left, and like he cried, and um, so like, he's probably like missing his family and just like, all that kind of stuff. So, I mean, I think it'll get better, but that way, what do I know? But I do have something that I don't think a lot of people like noticed um in this vlog that Hex posted a week ago. And I sent it to Deception because and I think I don't know. Hold on, I put down the timestamp.
Dude,
So
I watched this video and I don't know if I wasn't paying attention or not, but I did not hear anything
okay,
about
I'm gonna
what
turn on
was said.
the captions.
But like the
No,
Z's, bro,
this is way
is
better.
impossible.
Wait, did you just sign that shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, he said that.
Make me sign it.
Oh shit, you're graffiti right now.
Huh?
Do it.
I feel like it's vandalism.
Why? It has it's a logo on it. You are part owner in. Like Money Biscuit, you know what I'm saying? We're all owners.
See, it's a logo. You are part owner in like Money Biscuit. And then he goes,
What? Dude, I can't believe you put that in. I wonder if Maddie forgot to put it in and forgot to take it out.
No, Hex has been editing his own vlogs.
Really?
Yeah. Confirmed. He said it on the Optic
Well,
podcast.
I mean, I guess it's revealed now. I guess
Yeah.
Bose was saying that maybe thinking that it was like gonna come out the next day, and like Hex waited a little bit, and he was like, screw it, I'll just keep it in there.
Yeah. Cause like, like I mean nobody like has said anything. I don't know if anyone caught it or like It's like, because I mean, it's been said, like it's been said. And then,
Oh shit, your graffiti right? Let me see.
Huh?
Do it, do
I
it.
feel like it's vandalism.
Why? It has it's a logo on it. That you are part owner in.
that you are part owner in. I mean, it makes sense. I mean, Scump's been in Optic for, a decade. Same thing with Bose has been over there for. They've all been in Optic for so long that it makes sense that, they're part owner in it. Like, it doesn't surprise me at all. So,
I don't know. The Bose thing surprises me a little bit, but Scump doesn't surprise me.
no.
It wouldn't surprise me if Scump has been a part owner for a while. I don't know. Bose sort of surprises me and sort of doesn't. Like, honestly, like if I looked at all the people in Optic, I don't think Bose would be the first person I would have guessed
Mm-hmm.
besides Scump that would have been a co-owner. But it also kind of makes sense. I mean, Bose has been doing a lot. I mean, for a while he wasn't really doing much, but I think he was working on the Rich and Lonely stuff for a while and kind of focusing on himself. And now the last since Optic merged with Envy, Bose has been much more a part of Optic.
Oh
So I
yeah,
think he
he
definitely
has.
deserves it.
Oh yeah, he's been like in all sorts of content. Like, here, I'll just look it up. Optic.
Dude, and we get to see like Bose is great. Like
Yeah,
he's
he's
hilarious.
funny too. Like he's been on like.
Dude, I love Bose.
So like
honestly though, like the one person that I would have probably the two people I would have probably put over Bose is like Big Timer and like Formal. Those are the two people I probably would have put over Bose. And maybe Hitch. Hitch could go up there too.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
kind of surprised Hitch isn't a part owner.
I mean, he
but-
probably is. We just don't know it. So like, but like if you look at like their content recently, like they've been freaking killing it. I mean, it's got like Scump in it. Like you Scump, 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 Scumps. There's him with
They
a
just
shaved
use it.
stash.
I mean, yeah, he's in the content, but they just use him for the thumbnail.
Yeah.
They know that's getting people in there.
Oh yeah, they're like, oh Scump. They know what's good. Scump 1v1 fans in public for a 10K. You know, like, and they've been like really like pumping out content, and I'm glad to see them back. I really am. Like, I really have missed the Optic gaming content and the guys, But oh yeah, this is Andrea Botez. One video 8 months ago.
Yeah, I knew they did something with them.
Mm.
They did that, and I remember they did a piece of content with them, but I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, well, that's
it was
one
like
of them.
right when Optic merged with Envy. It was like forever. Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's like anything else with them in it.
Dude, not the retirement video.
The white elephant has them in it. First ever Optic vacation. So like when
they did a little bit, but
yeah, but then it like faded out and it just became like the guys. So, I mean, 69. But I don't know. It's one of those things. It's just you keep. Oh, wrong screen. There we go. Wrong screen. Good thing I didn't have anything on my computer. I just literally just had up like the document that we have already like gone through everything and
yeah, the one you didn't even link to me.
Sorry, I forgot. I'll look it to you right now before I forget.
Yeah, great. We'll I'll have a document we already went through.
Well, I'm going to like continually like change it every single week. Like it's gonna be a running document. So like I'm gonna start adding stuff for next week.
Can't wait for next week. It's episode 69.
I know, so hyped. One last thing I want to talk about is, so I know you're not big on Valorant, but I am. I like watch it a lot. There's new skins coming up. They're putting team bundles in the game. And let me
Yeah,
tell
I
you,
saw these earlier. These are fantastic.
oh my god, they're
Like,
so cool. Hold on.
COD could never do this.
No. That's one thing that Valorant does so well is the team capsules, like their skins just
They
in
just
general.
do skins in general
Yeah.
better. Like they just have the best skins in the game. Like honestly, like the
Like, look
top
at
two
this
games
shit.
skins wise are Valorant, Fortnite, and I'd say CS is probably like 3.
Yeah. Yeah, let's watch the. Well, I don't want to put the sound on because then I could get copyrighted probably. I don't want to get copyrighted.
Don't get copyright stricken.
Stricken. But look at these skins though. They're so beautiful. Like look at how cool they look generating. Like, oh my god. Like they did them for all the teams. You get little like buddies for them. And then you can like inspect it and it shows like the thing. Like it actually does that in game, which is sick.
I just hope they're for more than just the pistol.
Oh yeah. I think there's an I think there might be more, but there's oh, I think it might just be the pistol.
I don't know.
But
Maybe
they
they'll
also
put
have
maybe they'll put more bundles out or they do the skins for more guns, but I just think it's kind of weird that like the pistol, which is something that only gets used like a couple rounds a game, is the skin they put on there.
yeah. But you know, you get like a banner and then like a buddy and then like a emblem and stuff like that. So like that's the Fnatic one. The Fute team bundle is pretty cool. 100 Thieves one is pretty cool too. Yo, me for real? How'd they get my picture of my wallet in here? I'm so funny. But yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm just Optic, not Optic, but Valorant just does it. They do it better. I can't, I hate to say it sometimes, but like, look at this like video of like,
Bro.
they're just like of them announcing their skin. They all like reach and
Andy's gonna be pissed. I dare you to touch it.
Whoa!
and then like it just
An energy skin? Ooh, I like this. This is nice. Okay.
like that like they just do it so well and like energy like killing it on it, but I don't know. That's my personal opinion. Valorant just does skins better than like pretty much anyone else when it comes to like guns. Their gun skins.
Honestly, like now that Optic's not in Valorant anymore, the one team I'd probably pull for is NRG because
I'm going for
not only
100
did Optic have ties with NRG, I just really I thought like I mean, although they ended up like getting acquired by Envy, I thought that like when Hex was the NRG was great. I thought it was a good time. So
yeah, I mean, personally speaking, I'm a 100 Thieves fan when it comes to Val.
oh yeah, I completely forgot they had a Valorant team.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I'd probably go for them in NRG.
yeah. That's who that's who I go with is 100 Thieves. I watched them play against Sentinels the other day and they got fucking stomped.
Oh, dude, Sentinels too. Like,
And-
honestly though, I only like Sentinels for Halo because they acquired the old Optic Halo team like from forever ago,
Yeah.
and now that they're not even the same team, so I don't even care about Sentinels anymore. Now that whole old Optic Halo team is just split up now. So.
Yeah. But anyway, I mean that's all I got really to talk about on this podcast. I want to stream some COD. I've been itching to play. I know you guys are probably itching to watch me play, and I gotta upload this.
Run it up.
But anyway, thank you guys so much for tuning into this episode of the Climb Together podcast. This has been episode number 68. Next episode is number 69, the funny number. So next week, so tune in live. Yeah, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Thank you everyone for the support on the Scorpion Syndicate. Like it's really appreciated. You know, this is something that the Deception and I have been kind of working on for a few months, and I just want to say thank you again for everyone that has either watched the ladder or just like followed Twitter, like or like liked the tweets or like just been here. Like I appreciate all of you. But yeah, so thank you guys so much for tuning in. Deception say bye.
Bye.
See you guys next time. Peace.